Hey y'all, welcome back to the kitchen. I got my little bitty skillet out and I'm gonna make a little bitty breakfast for one, and I thought y'all might want to see what I'm gonna do. It's a little bit different, it's a whole lot delicious. So I'm gonna bring y'all over here close where you can see what I'm doing, but we got a little bit of prep work to do first. So I'll get you to the butcher block. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is slice up a little bit of ham, and this is just a half of a slice of ham that was left from our family gathering a few days ago. I just want a few little pieces. I'm going to put that to the side. And then you want to slice some tomatoes. And I'm using some Campari tomatoes, and I've told y'all how much I love these tomatoes. They're as good as fresh tomatoes, almost. And you can get them year-round. Kroger has them, I know. They're cheaper at Sam's and Costco. So I'm going to slice up some of those. I might have too many, but you know, I know how to put some salt on them and eat those slices if I get too many. And sometimes it's intentional to have a little extra. Nothing wrong with eating tomatoes. Okay. Then I've got to get one more thing. I want a little bit of onion. I like caramelized onion and stuff. So let me get an onion and get a few pieces of onion here that I can put in the skillet. And I'll be right back and show you what else we're going to do. Okay, I've got just a little wedge of onion, and I'm going to slice it in just little half moon pieces or whatever you want to call them. Kind of thin because I want it to cook pretty quickly here. Now this could be for one or two, but it's a nice breakfast for one. I want them to come apart because I want them to caramelize right quick for me. I'm going to put just a little bit of oil in this little, probably, what is that, 6 or 8 inch skillet. And this is avocado oil. And I'm just going to scoot it around to coat the bottom, so it'll help these onions to caramelize more quickly. And while they're cooking and caramelizing, I'm going to stir up 2 eggs. Let me get a couple of eggs over here. Gifts from the ladies. Let me see what I'm going to use here. I'm just going to whip them up a little bit. Boy, that's a pretty orange yolk. They like to be out pecking around in the yard, finding good stuff to eat, and it makes good eggs. Love it. Let me get a little whisk here. I'm just going to use this little funny looking one. I don't know what you call it, but it works. Because you can kind of peck up and down with it, and in a smaller bowl you don't make a huge mess. Now I think I'm going to put just a little bit of water in here so it'll be fluffier. And I have some pepper jack cheese I'm going to use. Now you can use Swiss, you can use whatever kind of cheese you want to, but I like that little bitty bite of pepper. So I'm going to put the pepper jack. I'm going to get just about a teaspoon of water in here. Just enough where it won't just be solid egg, and it'll fluff up a little bit. Now when my onions get caramelized, I have some tomato here to cook, and that's a whole different thing than what we usually do, but it sure is good. I'm just going to let those caramelize, and then when that gets done, I'll bring y'all back and show you what we're going to do next. Gathered up my little dab of ham, and while these onions are doing, I'm just going to put it around in there to get warm. And if it browns a little bit, that'll be extra flavor. So let me let that done, then we'll do the next step. Okay, my onions are kind of caramelized, so I took them out of the pan. And now what you want to do is take your tomato slices and put them in the skillet and cook them a little bit, and we're going to flip them over and cook the other side. Actually, I'm going to put that on low, and I'm going to cut another tomato right quick because I want to cover the bottom with tomato slices. Let's see how we come out now. That's pretty good. Well, that's the top, but I can get a little bit off of the side of that top and add it. And you can make this as big as you want it. If you want it for your family and to cut it into serving pieces, then you just need to use a bigger skillet, caramelize more onions and stuff. This is a method that you can do for whatever that you are wanting to cook. A little onion and garlic. And I need some Italian seasoning. So let me find my Italian seasoning and I'll be right back. I want to add a little bit of Italian to my eggs. Whisk back here. And I'm going to add a little bit of onion and garlic, of course. Not much, but a little. I'm going to leave that there. I may need to stir that again. Now what I want to do is I'm going to flip my tomatoes to where they kind of cook a snitch on each side. Doesn't hurt if they start to brown a little bit. That's just good flavoring. Okay, now that I've flipped them, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt around on them. And my pepper grinder needs refilling, so I'm just going to use some of my coarse ground, already ground up pepper. And I didn't mean to put all that in one spot. And I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning on top of my tomatoes. Then I'm going to add my onions back on top of the tomatoes and the ham mixture. I'm going to take and sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top of this. This is a flavor and a binder, okay? And then I'm going to put my eggs in. And then I'm going to put my Kobe Jack on top of that. My pepper jack. Okay, got my eggs in. I'm going to put some of this cheese around on the top to melt and be yummy. what I'm going to do is cut the fire down, and I'm just going to lay a piece of foil on the top because I don't have a lid for this skillet. And I'm going to cut it down. It's on low, and I'm going to let it cook until the eggs are done. Then we're going to flip it out, add a little bit more cheese, be ready to eat. Okay, it's done now. And I'm going to see if I can flip it out on this plate like it usually does. And have some. Loosen it up a little bit. Okay, it flipped out. And it looks pretty. See the tomatoes and the onions showing through. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little Parmesan on the top of it. Let it cool just a jiffy, and then I'll slice it. Okay, I sprinkled some Parm on the top, and then I put a few chopped green onions on it. And now I'm letting it cool just a snitch, and then I'm going to taste of it for y'all. It's absolutely wonderful. I love the fresh tomatoes in it. Okay, I'm going to try some of this. I've got me a bite that has the egg, the cheese, the tomato, and some of the caramelized onion. I'm going to open my mouth real big, put it all in there. Mmm. I think it needs a little more salt, so I'll add a little bit. I probably need to take one more bite just to be sure what I thought was right. This is good. Fresh tomatoes just really add a pizzazz to stuff. Especially a good fresh tomato. Mm-mm. It would be good without the ham, and I have made it without the caramelized onions. Just did the tomatoes and added the Italian seasoning to the eggs and put cheese, and that's all I put in it. So it's kind of like a blank canvas. Stoop it up like you want it, and you can do it for 1 or 2 or 8 or 10, however many you want to make. And of course, if you don't want to put meat in it, but you want a little bit of bacon flavoring, saute your onions in a little bit of bacon grease, and that'll give you that flavoring. I've also used the already packaged bacon bits like you get at Sam's and Costco. I guess you can get them anywhere, but I like to get the big old bag and get more for my money. So here's another good breakfast recipe, or like you're having a gathering for the 4th or any holiday and you want to serve them something a little bit different. We'll make this egg skillet. It's wonderful, it's quick and easy, and everybody always likes it. Now I'll tell you what goes real good with it. Get you some croissants. You know how you get those 12 big old fat pretty croissants at Sam's and Costco? And maybe cut them in half. I mean literally in half, and have 4 pieces, because 1 croissant is quite a lot of bread. But they make wonderful toast. Just put your butter on it and sprinkle a little garlic powder and serve it along with this, and it is absolutely scrumptious. Have I got y'all hungry yet? I hope so, and hope you try this and let me know what you think about it. It's something that I enjoy, and it's yummy, and it makes breakfast a little bit different and just a little bit fancy, and sometimes fancy makes you feel better. Okay, y'all, come back in a day or 2 and we're going to have something else good. And in the meantime, buy you an extra can of beans, or a bag of dry beans, or a bag of dry rice, and put it on your pantry shelf, because you never know when you're going to need it. I'm buying an extra 1 or 2 things when I go to the store. Like, I like to season with onion soup mix, so when I go to Aldi's, I pick up a couple of boxes. There's 2 packages in each box, and I'm getting ahead a little bit. And that's what y'all need to do. Pick you up an extra package or two of something. Get you some brown gravy mix. Add a little water to it, and you can season something up real good with some brown gravy mix. There's all kinds of ideas, and I may do a video. Let me know down below if you would like for me to do a video on things to put in your pantry that you could use in a pinch to make stuff taste better without having all of your usual spices and all that are available to us. I have lots of ideas that I do, and I'd be glad to share, but I don't want to bore y'all. So if it's something you think you'd like, comment down below and let me know, and I'll get a video together and tell you some things that you can pick up at the store and just have in your pantry for any disaster that might happen. And you could go ahead and cook a good meal. You know, if you've got onion soup mix and water, you can make some good rice without having a bunch of bottles of stuff. Things like that's what I'm talking about. Be wise, stock your pantry for the just in case. Now, on the Gulf Coast, all eyes are on the Gulf because they're telling us it is going to be a very active hurricane season. And you never know where those boogers are going to decide to call home. So there's been times we were without utilities for 2 to 3 weeks when we've had a bad storm come through. And I've always been pretty well okay because I had stuff that I could make meals out of. And that's what will happen if, you know, unless our home's destroyed. I'll have a few things that I can get us through a pinch with. Now, my heart's desire, I want a Generac generator so bad on this house to where if a storm comes or the lights go out, it kicks on and we still have everything taken care of. And if I could have one wish in this whole world, I wish for one of those generators, whole house generators for my house. But I might have to get the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to be able to get one. So if y'all have an extra prayer, pray I find that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I can get my generator. That really bothers me because should Troy not be able to hook up our little portable generators, I don't know what I'd do because I've never had to do it. I don't know how to do it. So I would love to be able to get a Generac. But in the meantime, I'm just going to pray we don't have a hurricane and don't need it. And in the next meantime, thank y'all for coming by Apron Strings. I appreciate you so much watching and listening to me rattle and maybe making some of the recipes and using them at your table. That's another important thing that I hadn't talked about lately. Gather your family around the table. The hub of my home growing up was around the dinner table. If Mama was in the kitchen, we sitting at the table talking to her while she was over there cooking because our dinner table was right there by the kitchen. And mine is here too. If you can gather people around food and the preparation of the food, you can make some sweet memories and people will share with you. Your kids will share with you thoughts through the day that if you were on your device and they're on their device, you're not going to hear those thoughts and they're not going to share those memories. But if y'all have a time of one-on-one, when your children, grandchildren, adult children, whoever it may be, people realize that, hey, we're having a conversation. They're paying attention to what I'm saying. I'm real important. They do like to hear they're going to share some things with you that you will be so thankful and feel so special that they would choose to talk to you about them. Some of them, you wish they'd shut up. But most of the time, it's a pleasure. So gather some food from the store and cook it and put it on your table. Put all your devices aside. Sit down and enjoy your family and enjoy each other and share your day and make some memories. Real often, I think back about things that were said at the dinner table when I was growing up, and it just makes me smile all over again because it was a sweet time. And we're in a turbulent world. And in the safety and security of your home, you can make some sweet, peaceful memories, and you can make a refuge for your children. So try to do that. Or whoever comes to your house. Let them walk in and say, oh, it's so peaceful here. You can do that. Keep the good Lord up front in your life and invite Him to reside in your home, and people can feel the difference. I want to thank y'all again for coming and listening, and I hope you'll come back soon. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to Apron Strings and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I put up another video. And hit the like button. Those thumbs ups just makes me smile because somebody liked what I've been doing. I'll see y'all in a day or two.